More than half of all revenue on the Las Vegas Strip now comes from something other than gambling. Table minimums that once sat at $1 or $2 have climbed to $25, sometimes $50. The city purpose-built for the everyday gambler is quietly pushing them out. But to understand why nobody seems to be gambling in Las Vegas anymore, you have to understand the machine that once made it irresistible. In the heyday of Las Vegas, the city's allure rested on a simple promise. Anyone could walk in, lay a single dollar on the table, and be treated like royalty. Archival ads from the 1950s and the 1960s boasted of $1 blackjack, penny slots, and the ever-present offer of free cocktails. A Friday night in the Stardust Pit meant $2 minimums, bustling crowds, and a haze of cigarette smoke curling over the felt. Pit bosses like Jackie Malone kept a close eye on the action, ready with a paper coupon for a free steak or a comped room if you played long enough. The economics were straightforward. Low table limits brought in the masses, and the house made its money on volume. Thousands of hands played, each with a small edge. A player might lose a few dollars, but gain a meal, a show ticket, or a night's stay. The comp system was personal, tracked by hand, and designed to keep you in your seat. Oral histories recall the steady rhythm, a cocktail waitress making her rounds, a pit boss jotting notes, a comp envelope slipped across the table. Cheap entertainment and accessible gaming turned Las Vegas into a destination for the middle class. The city's reputation as an affordable thrill spread through word of mouth and glossy travel magazines. For decades, this model made the casino floor the beating heart of Las Vegas, open, welcoming, and within reach for almost anyone who walked through the doors. Casino profitability in the mass market era relied on a simple arithmetic. Even the smallest bets, multiplied by thousands of players, created a steady stream of revenue. The key to this system was the hold percentage, the share of every dollar wagered that stayed with the house after all payouts. According to Nevada Gaming Control Board records from the 1960s through the 1980s, the average hold on table games hovered between 6 and 8%. That meant for every $100,000 that moved across the felt on a busy Friday night, the casino could expect to keep $7,000. The rest cycled back to players in winnings, tips, and more bets. The numbers played out in real time. Former Stardust pit boss Jackie Malone described Friday nights when $2 blackjack tables would be packed with tourists, each betting small but steady. Malone recalled, "You could see the whole state of Ohio in the pit," as chips and comp slips changed hands. The pit boss's job was to keep the action moving, not to chase high rollers, but to fill every seat and keep the games running late into the night. This volume-driven approach had its limits. The house edge was modest, so the system only worked when the floor was full and the hands kept coming. If the crowds thinned or players slowed down, profits quickly shrank. The model depended on constant turnover and a relentless pace, thousands of bets per hour, each one a tiny piece of the casino's margin. For decades, that formula defined the economic logic of the Las Vegas Strip. A glance at the latest revenue charts from the UNLV Center for Gaming Research reveals a city transformed. In 1990, more than 80% of Strip resort revenue came from gaming. By 2025, that share has dropped to just over half, with non-gaming sources, hotels, dining, entertainment, and retail making up the balance. SEC filings from major operators like MGM Resorts and Caesars confirm the trend. Non-gaming now accounts for 46 to 52% of property revenue, a stark reversal from the era when the casino floor paid the bills. On the ground, the cost of entry has shifted just as dramatically. Table minimums that once sat at $5 or $10 now routinely stand at $25, $50, or higher, especially on weekends. Signage at flagship properties like the Bellagio and Wynn lists $25 as the lowest bet for blackjack, with high-limit rooms demanding far more. For the casual visitor, the days of dropping a few dollars for a night of play are largely gone. The numbers are clear. The majority of Las Vegas revenue no longer depends on chips and cards, but on room bookings, celebrity restaurants, and ticketed shows. This new arithmetic has direct consequences for who plays and who walks away. As minimums rise and the value proposition fades, the casino floor becomes less accessible to the average tourist. The story now unfolds in the margins, at the velvet ropes of nightclubs, the doors of Michelin-starred steakhouses, and the box office for headline residencies, while the tables that once defined the city stand half-empty, waiting for a different kind of customer. Younger visitors now walk past the casino floor without stopping. For many, the draw of a crowded table or the promise of a free drink no longer holds the same appeal. Surveys from 2023 show that millennials and Gen Z are 35% less likely to play table games than those over 45. Instead, they talk about experiences, pool parties, immersive art, and headline concerts when asked what brought them to Las Vegas. A group of friends in their 20s might split the cost of bottle service at a nightclub, post photos from an EDM festival, or try a celebrity chef's tasting menu, but few mention sitting at a blackjack table. Convenience and technology have also changed the game. Mobile sports betting now accounts for nearly half of all sports wagers in Nevada, up from less than 20% just a few years ago. More than 60% of visitors under 34 reported placing a mobile bet during their stay, often from their hotel room or a lounge chair by the pool. The casino floor, once the centerpiece of every visit, has become just one option among many. App-based gambling offers instant access and sidesteps the rising table minimums that keep casual players away. For many, the phone in their pocket feels more approachable than a $25 table with unfamiliar rules. As digital betting and social entertainment take center stage, the city's identity as a gambling destination faces new competition from its own reinvention. A market analyst reviewing the decade's revenue data offers a blunt assessment. Non-gaming income has grown from a supporting role to the main event. We are looking at properties where more than half of total earnings now come from rooms, restaurants, and entertainment. The casino floor used to drive everything. Today, it is just another amenity. A senior executive from a major strip resort pushes back on the idea that gambling is being abandoned. "We haven't turned our backs on gaming," she insists. But the reality is, guests expect more. They want headline shows, world-class dining, and nightlife that is as memorable as any win at the tables. Raising minimums is not about exclusion. It is about maintaining quality and covering rising costs. The experience has to be sustainable. A local journalist and longtime community advocate voices a different concern. Las Vegas built its reputation on being open to everyone. When you walk through a casino today and see empty tables, it is not just economics, it is a loss of identity. The city risks becoming a playground for the few, not the many. That is not the Vegas people remember, or the one they came here to find. Las Vegas stands at a crossroads, its future uncertain, and its identity up for debate. The city's economic engine, once powered by the steady churn of casino chips, now draws as much strength from hotel suites, celebrity chefs, and arena shows as from any blackjack table. This transformation raises fundamental questions. What happens to the capital that once flowed through the pits, funding jobs and shaping the skyline? As non-gaming revenue fills the coffers, the workforce itself is shifting. Dealers and pit bosses, once central figures, face a world where hospitality, entertainment, and technology roles are in higher demand. The city's brand, built on the promise that anyone could win big or lose small, is being rewritten for a new generation more interested in experiences than in wagers. For some, this evolution signals opportunity, a chance to diversify, to attract global tourists, to weather the ups and downs of gaming cycles. For others, it stirs anxiety. The risk is not just economic, but cultural. If Las Vegas becomes just another luxury destination, does it lose what made it singular? Can a city that built its legend on open tables and accessible thrills reinvent itself without leaving part of its soul behind? The answers remain unwritten as Las Vegas continues to gamble with its own future. Las Vegas now earns over 60% of strip revenue from everything but gambling. As entertainment and luxury eclipse the tables, a city built for risk-takers is redefining its identity. The stakes have changed, but what's truly being wagered now is the very soul of Las Vegas itself.